Good morning. I'm Karen Taradas with Social U. It's time for What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central to talk about social media and digital marketing tips, tricks, and trends. Welcome to hoodie season. It's finally cold in Alabama, so out come the hoodies. Get excited. You're going to see them probably every week until May. All right, let's talk about all this month. We've been talking about scary, spooky themes. Last week, what did we talk about last week? Last week, we talked about ghoulish behavior and how to deal with creeps and trolls. The week before that, we talked about getting scary good ideas for Halloween content. Today, I have 20 social media sins. These are the biggest sins across all platforms. And next week, we're going to talk about horror stories where I'm literally going to show you examples of people who got canceled online because of mistakes that they made. All of them, of course, were avoidable, but man, some of them are terrible. So I've already started collecting information for that next week. Wow. There's a couple that are current that are just, how did you let yourself be recorded doing that and then think it was a good idea to put it online? Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, there's 20 of these, so I want to jump in. Okay, first thing right off the bat is not knowing who your audience or your ideal client is. The first thing I always ask our clients when we meet for the first time, what's your target? Who's your ideal demographic? And I bet you 8 times out of 10, I hear everybody. Nope. You have an ideal. Everybody has an ideal, that sweet spot, the one perfect client that puts you, gives you what you need. They pay correctly. They are receptive to information, and you need to know more about who that client is. Okay, so you have to be able to identify the client first and foremost. Who's your target? Who's your customer avatar? Number 2, being personal instead of professional. Platforms really reward businesses more than they do personal accounts. And Facebook is getting downright evil about promoting on your personal profile. They want you to have a page. So they are really locking down. And I've had customers, we do troubleshooting, and I've had customers who've been locked out of their profiles because of their content, or they'll be put in Facebook jail. And you ask a couple of questions. Well, what'd you do? How'd you get locked out of your own group that has thousands of people? Well, I posted, a house for sale. How many times did you post a house for sale? Oh, I only do it on Monday. How many times did you post out? 12. I did 12 in a row. Yeah, that's the reason you're in Facebook jail. So it happens. So it's important you can, of course, integrate some personal into some professional, because your professional life always bleeds into your personal life. But make sure you have a business account on Pinterest, business account on Instagram, a professional page on Facebook. You need to have a business or a creator's account on TikTok. It allows you to see analytics, and there's so many perks to it. So business accounts. Number 3, not having a complete bio or missing contact information. This is probably my personal pet peeve. Nothing makes me madder than I'm trying to reach out to a business and there's no phone number, or there's no address, or there's no email, or horror upon horror, there's no website. Seriously. So make sure you can be reached. Now, you teach your customers how to treat you. You teach everyone how to treat you. So if you prefer text, then that needs to be your primary contact information on your website. If you prefer email, that needs to be the primary. And it's okay to say, I prefer, or I respond faster to this than I do this. Totally okay. But that information needs to be there, because different segments of our population like to respond in different ways. Madison, who works with me, would rather be set on fire than make a live phone call. Conversely, Becky wants to talk. So it's very different. People react differently. So make sure you accommodate all of your potential clients. Number 4, one size does not fit all. I have believed that since it was in the lyrics to Square Pegs when I was a kid. All content is not okay for all people or all platforms. Something that works on TikTok will not work necessarily on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. And I can totally prove that to you, because we have these small, short videos, and we'll have one without fail. The ones that go viral on TikTok crickets on Instagram. So you can't use the same thing everywhere necessarily. I was just about to post my last wedding personal page. Anita, that's a little bit different. If it's your last wedding ever, personal page is great. But if you mean, oh, the last one that I did, absolutely do it on your professional page. You just, yeah. Now, is Facebook going to put her in jail for posting one wedding on her profile? No, but she's not going to get the benefit of the analytics from posting it on her personal profile. That only comes from your page. So I'm still going to vote for the page. Okay, well, if it's just the last one you did, it absolutely needs to be on your professional page. 100%. Okay. Number 5. You guys have probably heard me say this before. I'm a big believer in the Ratatouille Theory. I think we call it what do we call it? The Ratatouille Principle. Yeah. What does that mean? If you've seen the movie Ratatouille, you've heard him say a good cook can come from anywhere, but not everyone can be a good cook. That's entirely true with social media. A great social media manager can come from anywhere, but not everyone can be a great social media manager. Just because your admin is 20 doesn't mean that she can do what we do. Just because you have you're one of the people in your office has a son that's in college does not mean it's okay for him to post for your women's health clinic. Maybe not. Hey, Cassandra, it's good to see you. The good news, they never go away. Like, fungus. So you can scroll back through our video library on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, and they're all there. So I really have enjoyed this month. The topics for this month have been a lot of fun and very informative. So it's nice to see you. Okay. So just because you have someone who's available who can do it doesn't mean they're going to do a good job. Now, is it possible to have someone who you didn't think was going to be great? 100%. I feel like this is something that if you want to learn it, you can learn it. But you also have to have kind of a natural eye for graphics, and you have to be able to write captions, and that comes with practice. Not everybody gets that intuitively right away. A lot of that is practice. So that being said, yes, you can absolutely learn it in practice, but don't just hand over the reins to anybody who's younger than you are and assume they can do it. Number 6, overposting. This is huge. HubSpot is one of the lead. HubSpot, Social Media Manager, Hootsuite, Social Pilot, some of the leading authorities on analytics for social media. Some great content there for social media. HubSpot says if you're a Facebook page, you only need to post once a day. HubSpot has hundreds of thousands of followers. You know how many times they post? Once a day. We tested this theory. I've tested it repeatedly. If you post, no matter if you have 100 followers or 10,000 followers, every time you post after the first time, it drops by half. So if the first one got 100 eyes, the second one will have 50. The third one will have 20-ish, and the last one may have 7. So once a day, Monday through Friday. And Saturdays are great. Sundays are normally not so great, but you can post 6 days a week if you want to, but once a day is plenty. Now, there's exceptions to every rule. We have had a couple of customers who are super, super active on their page, and their folks on their page are super active. And if they want to post more than once a day, that's killer. That's great. If that works for them, you can test the theory, but I'd be willing, again, 9 out of 10, it's going to be once a day. Overposting is one of the main reasons people will unfollow you. So bear that in mind before you start testing. Number 7, using the wrong platform. If you are trying to sell insurance to senior citizens, you probably aren't going to do it on Instagram. If you want to sell skateboards, you're not going to do it on LinkedIn. It just, your audience determines the platform, and there's good combinations. Most businesses can only handle posting on 2 platforms. 3 if you're a beast. I mean, it's a lot to post on multiple platforms. It's exhausting to me, and this is what we do. But we do post on like 7 platforms. But that's because that's what we do. So find the right platform and get really good at it, and then you can add a supplemental one later. They will be there when you're ready to deal with them. But yeah, pick the right platform. Number 8, it's never about you, ever. It's always what's in it for me. It's always what's in it for your client. So when you come across too salesy, that's the second most popular reason that people will dump you or unfollow you. Boring and salesy. It's not a good combination. And I'm not trying to pick on the real estate industry, although I am going to just a little bit, because in the past, not necessarily now, but a lot of realtors were guilty of listing, open house, listing, and that's boring. And it's a lot. You have to educate, inform, and entertain your audience. And if they're not getting that, they will go away. I mean, nobody wants to be bored. I didn't get on Facebook to not have a good time. That's not true. I'm not on Facebook. I didn't get on TikTok to not have a good time. I want to have fun. Now, do I learn stuff? 100%. But you have to get them to your page to teach them stuff or to educate them about your services. So, absolutely never about you. And you can ask for a sale. You can, but you have to give first. It's like a savings account. You put in, and then you take a little out. And you put in, you take a little out. I think about it like the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're promoting, you're educating, informing, and entertaining. 20% of the time you absolutely need to ask for the sale. This is our next program. This is our next service. This is our next offer. It's okay to ask. And I have people who will push back and say, I don't like asking for business, or I don't like asking for the sale. And to that, I will tell you, if you love what you do and you're good at it, you're doing them a disservice if you don't offer it to them. So bear that in mind. Okay, where are we? 9, not checking your analytics. It's very difficult to keep going and correcting and grow if you don't know what's working and what's not working. So check your analytics to see what's working for you so you can duplicate that easily. Number 10, wrong, absolutely incorrect, misspelled, or grammatically incorrect information. Again, this is a personal pet peeve. There is no excuse to have a sentence fragment. There is no excuse to have a misspelled word. Now, it happens. We all do it. If you guys have posted on TikTok, you cannot go back and edit those. If the caption's wrong, it's wrong forever. And I'm not going to take down a video that's had 7,000 views because I left out an A. Not happening. So it's absolutely critical that the grammar be correct and the information be correct. The only thing worse, I think, than having those little technical mistakes is posting something that's blatantly untrue. So make sure the information is correct before you post it as well. Number 11, ignoring comments, complaints, or direct messages. You work so hard, and it takes money and time and energy to have a presence online. And then at the end of the day, the whole purpose is engagement. And if you ignore that engagement, you're leaving money on the table. Aside from the fact that it's really good for your analytics for you to respond to every comment, it's much more, the people who make the comments, when you respond to them, are much more likely to come back and watch your content again. So make sure you're responding to comments and DMs. Number 12, using copyrighted, low quality, pixelated, or watermarked images. That is ridiculous. When there is Canva, and there's multiple free resources for images, there is no excuse for using copyrighted or watermarked images. Nobody needs to get sued over an image they use in their blog post or on their website. And in today's day and age, there is no excuse for having I totally lost my train of thought. It just totally ran away from me. Again, watermarked is terrible. Don't use copyrighted information, but low quality is the worst, because if you think about it, the last time you were looking at images, if the image was bad, if the image is bad, I'm done. If the image is watermarked, I'm really done, because that is just lazy. That's just lazy. You can go to Canva and pull almost anything, or Pexels, or Pixabay, or Unsplash, or stock, styled stock, or you see where I'm going? There's so many images available. You just have to find what you need. Okay, number 13, not using user-generated content. Nothing is better than third-party endorsement. Yelp and Amazon have built a career on it. So if one of your clients is endorsing your product and they are tagging you online, absolutely share their content, as long as it's appropriate and it's not profane or offensive, or you get my drift, because not every brand has that. But if you have, we'll use Anita as an example. If you're a wedding planner and one of the bridesmaids took pictures with the other bridesmaids and tags her, sharing that picture is awesome. Why do you want to do that? Well, for one, it's a no-brainer. It's content you don't have to create yourself. And for number two, every person who's friends with the person who posted will see it when you share it. And as you know, most wedding folks know, your best customer is coming from the bridal party. So that's a great reason to share it. Okay, where are we? 14, not using hashtags when it's appropriate. If you're going to be on Instagram or Twitter, you 100% have to use hashtags or you're just not going to get found. Instagram is getting harder and harder to work that algorithm, and you need those hashtags for people to be able to discover your content. Number 15, not using video. Video is the primary priority across every single platform right now. Pinterest, those idea pins, story pins, video. I cannot tell you what pinning short video has done for our Pinterest analytics. They are through the roof. They have been stagnant for almost a year, and now they are through the roof because of the story idea pins that we're using. I keep saying story pins because they're stories, but yeah, they're idea pins. YouTube shorts, we're blowing up on YouTube. We've grown our subscriber list because of our shorts. And I know you know that reels are a priority, and that's TikTok's entire life is short form video. So short form video is huge. And if you are not integrating video into your marketing, you are missing the boat in a big, big way. Like, let's say your very first video you posted went viral and then you didn't follow it up. That's crazy, because people will come back if they like it and look to see if there's something else. So make sure you keep that good content coming. Number 16, not using captions on videos. Hold on one second. We have a question. How do pictures as video affect videos? It depends. If it's a good picture and you've got good voiceover or you've got great captions, it can work, but you're much more likely to get better engagement and higher rank if it's an actual video versus a picture. Now, can you do it every once in a while? 100%. You absolutely can, because, I mean, everybody gets tired. It's okay to do that. And if it's an awesome picture, absolutely you can share it. And I hate to break this to you guys, you can animate still pictures on Canva and make a still picture into a video, and it'll work for you. So, I mean, you could animate captions, you can animate quotes. So there's all kinds of things you can do to get movement into a still picture. So the long answer is it works kind of, but it's going to do better if it's actual video. Anita says, Eek, I did that. Really? I would not have guessed that, Anita, nor called you out publicly. No, don't repost it over and over. Can you repost it? Sure. We've had a lot of success. We've been testing that I'd say in the last 2 months. Madison, we've been testing reposting in the last 2 months. We've gone back to, now that we have some traction on TikTok and I have, over 10,000 followers, we've been testing some of the older content that we think is good that didn't get any love at all. And it works. Redoing works some, but you can repost an old video. Now, can you repost a viral video? Sure. Doing it at the end of the year as a highlight reel? Perfect. But you can't repost it over and over. Anita, I know you know this. You must have new video. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't even have to be in all of it, but you do have to have video. All right. I would pull out the cup that says video, baby, but you guys have heard me say that a million times. 16, not using captions on video. Again, a lot of people, especially on Facebook, over 80% watch videos with the sound off. And if there's no captions, they're not getting any of the information. So make sure you turn your captions on. Number 17, gaps in posting or no consistency. I find that super frustrating when you go look for a business and they haven't posted since 2019. What is happening? Are you still in business? Did you go bankrupt? Do you even care? Are you going to see it if I send you a direct message? It makes me question everything. It makes you look careless or lazy, and nobody wants that. So absolutely post regularly. Now your bandwidth and the person next to you's bandwidth is different. You have some people who can absolutely post consistently every week, and that's fine. If they can, they can post 5 times a week. If you can't do that, that's okay. If you can post twice a week consistently, do that. Do what you can handle, but be consistent. All right. Number 17, was gaps in posting. No consistency. Number 18, buying followers. I cannot tell you what a bad idea it is to buy followers. The only platform where you can spend money and do targeted ads to increase your followers that's valuable is Facebook. It's also super costly. And Facebook has recently changed the way that they allow you to target. So they're making it harder to do it that way. But Instagram, if you're buying followers on Instagram, it's worthless because your engagement rate on Instagram is only going to be between 1% and 3%. And when you buy followers, it goes below 1%. And Instagram and their algorithm, they use that information to determine if you're worth letting people see you. And when it dips below 1%, it's breaking your life. So buying those followers is costing you in the long run. Plus, you're not going to sell products to uninvolved. Don't feed into the vanity metrics. If you have 1,000 followers who love you, it's much better than 10,000 people who don't know who you are. Your sales will be much better with a community versus people you've just purchased online. It's crazy. Number 19, no call to action. Tell people what you want them to do. If you want them to sign up for your new program, tell them. If you have a cool freebie, tell them. If you have a great newsletter that you love with all your heart, tell them. When you sign up for our newsletter or sign up for our free downloads, your name goes into our email list and you're getting Social You emails every week. I love those emails. You get a link to the blog. You get a tip of the week that's not necessarily anywhere else. We do a lot of those uniquely, and then you get a video clip from YouTube. So there's a lot of information there. Tell people if that's what you want them to do, let them know. And then number 20, and I touched on this briefly previously, not asking for the sale. At some point, you have to ask people for the sale. At some point, you have to say, hey, if you guys haven't had a chance to sign up for our Social University membership program, I highly recommend it. It is only $10 a month. And for $10 a month, you can get one how-to Canva video a week, get one cool download, teachable, trainable piece of content a week. We post content every single day. And to me, this is the very best part. Any question you have will be answered within 24 hours. So if you're not sure about the size graphic you need for Twitter, you can pop in there and ask and we'll tell you. If you're not sure about the new regulations for Facebook's pages, which just shoot me, we will tell you. So happy to answer your questions. That's exactly what it's for. So if you guys are interested, we will put a link in the comments so that you can go sign up. And that's it for me. Please join me next week when we talk about actual nightmares, people who got canceled online because of mistakes that they made. And oh man, there are some bad ones. I mean, they're good for what we're talking about, but overall, they're bad. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, we do monitor these. You can always send me a DM. Until next week, I am Karen Taradas with Social You, and I'm here to help. Thanks.